iPhone 18 Pro Max leaks are heating up. And the headlines are wild. A variable aperture for 8MP camera. A next-gen Ecteto Plus display. Apple's first in-house 5G modem. A 2nm, a 20 Pro chip, under-display Face ID, and storage up to 2 TB. If you're wondering whether Apple's 2026 flagship is worth the wait, this is the breakdown you need. Before we jump in, quick reminder, these details are based on early reports and supply chain leaks. Things can change before the expected September 2026 launch alongside the iPhone 18 Pro and maybe Apple's first foldable iPhone. With that said, here's what's on the table and why it matters. Let's start with the cameras, because that's where the biggest buzz is. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is rumored to bring a new 48MP Fusion main camera with a variable aperture, potentially Apple's first. In plain English, the lens can open wider in low light to pull in more detail and reduce noise, then close down in bright scenes to sharpen backgrounds and increase depth of field. Paired with larger apertures on both the main and telephoto lenses, we're looking at cleaner night shots, more natural bokeh, and better subject separation. If you shoot portraits, cityscapes, or concerts, this could be a meaningful step up from today's Pro Max. Expect Apple's computational photography smart, HDR, deep fusion, and photonic engine to lean into that variable aperture to deliver faster focus and more consistent results in tricky lighting. Battery life is next. And the story is simple, bigger. Multiple reports say Apple is increasing capacity significantly over the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The trade-off? Weight. Leaks suggest the iPhone 18 Pro Max could become the heaviest iPhone ever, potentially over 240 grams. If you've been craving longer screen-on time for travel, gaming, or 5G, Apple may be willing to go thicker and heavier to deliver it. The good news is that battery gains won't rely on capacity alone. Efficiency gains from the chip and display should amplify the endurance boost. Speaking of efficiency, the A20 Pro chip is rumored to be Apple's first on TSMC's 2nm N2 process. Early targets point to around 15% higher performance with up to 30% lower power draw compared to the 3nm A19 generation. Smaller transistors mean less heat, better sustained performance, and longer battery life. In the real world, that translates to smoother multitasking, more stable frame rates in heavy games, faster video exports, and improved on-device AI if you use features like ProRace, ProRW, or plan to dive into AI workflows on device. The A20 Pro is the kind of silicon leap you want. Now, the display. Reports hint at a next-gen Ecteto Plus panel on the iPhone 18 Pro models. Think higher refresh rates with lower power consumption, snappier animations, and more efficient always-on behavior. Because the display is the biggest power hog in any smartphone, shaving watts here pays off everywhere else. Expect elite brightness, color accuracy, and better endurance without sacrificing fluidity. There's also a possible shakeup in the controls. The physical camera control button introduced on the iPhone 16 may not make the cut on the iPhone 18 series. If engagement is truly low, Apple could remove it to simplify the hardware and save internal space. Apple has a long history of trimming features that don't land. This would fit that pattern. Design refinements are on deck, too. Apple is reportedly working to better match the color of the metal frame with the wireless charging rear glass, addressing the slight mismatch some users spot on current models. Earlier whispers of a semi-transparent back seem to be cooling. The company may favor a more understated, seamless aesthetic. And yes, that larger battery and upgraded optics could mean a thicker, heavier chassis following function. Connectivity might be the most strategic upgrade of all. Apple is said to be preparing its first fully in-house 5G modem. The C22 replaced Qualcomm's solution in the iPhone 18 lineup. The expected benefits: stronger wave performance, lower power consumption, better signal stability, and tighter integration with Apple's silicon stack. If Apple executes, you'll see faster real-world speeds and better battery life on 5G, this reportedly follows. AC1 modem in lower-end models. with the iPhone 18 series becoming the first full flagship rollout of Apple's own modem tech. On the front, big changes could be coming. Multiple sources suggest Apple will move away from the hardware-defined dynamic island to a smaller punch-hole selfie camera likely in the top left, while shifting Face ID components like the dot projector and eye are illuminator under the display. That could mean more uninterrupted screen real estate and a cleaner look. Dynamic Island may live on as a software element that appears when needed rather than a permanent cutout. For storage, creators and power users should be happy. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to start at 256 GB and climb all the way to 2 TB. With 4K and 8K video, ProRace and ProRace W spatial video, and local AI models. 2 TB isn't overkill, it's headroom. If you've ever juggled external drives just to keep shooting, this solves a real problem. Put it all together, and the iPhone 18 Pro Max looks like more than an incremental refresh. We could be looking at a holistic upgrade, a variable aperture camera system that adapts to the scene, a more efficient EDTO Plus display, a cooler and faster 2 nanometers A20 Pro chip, Apple's first in-house 5G modem, a refined back panel, a punch-hole selfie with under-display Face ID, and storage up to 2 TB. The trade-offs appear to be a heavier body and the possible removal of the camera. Control button reasonable sacrifices if the gains are as big as they sound. Now, a reality check. These are early leaks, and timelines slip. Under-display Face ID is hard, and Apple could phase it in stages. Variable aperture might debut only on the Pro Max at first. The in-house modem could roll out regionally or with feature limitations before ramping worldwide. And specs like 15% faster, 30% more efficient are targets, not guarantees. But if even half of these changes land, the iPhone 18 Pro Max could be the most ambitious iPhone since the X Dot. So, should you wait? If you're on an iPhone 14 or older and you care about camera flexibility, battery life, display smoothness, on-device AI, or 5G efficiency, the iPhone 18 Pro Max rumors make a compelling case to hold off. If you're on a 15 or 16 Pro Max and you don't need 2 TB or a variable aperture camera, you might be fine to sit tight and see how these features mature. Which rumored upgrade are you most excited about? The variable aperture camera, the 2 nanometers A20 Pro chip, under-display Face ID, or Apple's in-house 5G modem? Drop your pick and your questions. And if you want more deep dives on the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, stick around, there's a lot more coming as we get closer to September 2026.